part-time job. Now imagine working and your bosses get paid for the work that you do. This is the type of situations hardworking athletes go through. College athletes deserve to be paid because they work very hard, they are constantly threatened with injury, and colleges make tons of money from the athletes putting in work. I'm going to be talking to you about what college athletes have to do daily, how much money NCAA and colleges make us profit from their athletes, and how colleges can go about paying their athletes. Now I will show you what a college athlete's schedule is like. Being a college athlete is a full-time job, and a lot of people who aren't athletes don't usually realize that. The typical D1 college player devotes 43.3 hours per week due to their sport, which is 3.3 more hours than the typical work week. The NCSA head recruiting coach, Zach Willis, explained what a day in the life of a college athlete would look like. He gave an example of a D1 football player's daily schedule. Most of them wake up at 5 o'clock to get ready and go to strength and conditioning at 6. They go from their team meetings to classes and then watch film. Then they have their 3-hour practice with their team, shower, and then training. Then they may go to the academic support center to do homework and don't get home till between 9:30 and 12 o'clock. This was just an example, but as you can see from a recruiter's expertise, this would be a typical schedule for a D1 athlete. These athletes may have injuries that they have to deal with as well. Sports Illustrated talks about how college athletes may pay the physical price of being a college player. They give examples about how a baseball player may have to have Tommy John surgery, a running back may continue to play on a sprained ankle, and midfielders may tear their ACLs, which can lead to shredded ligaments. There are many scenarios, but the main issue is that if they have an injury, they're going to have to deal with paying for surgeries or physical therapy. A lot of these athletes have to deal with missing school daily for their sporting events. Experts say that the main struggle with these athletes missing class is that they have to find the time to make up everything they missed. If they're consistently missing class and going from class to practice and then weights, they won't have much time to catch up. For example, a college softball player had mentioned in an interview that some nights I have to force myself to finish studying despite my longing to hop into bed and crash. These athletes have a full schedule and have work to make up as well. A lot of these athletes also need to dedicate their time to studying and catching up due to that missed class time. It is pretty much up to the athlete themselves to communicate to their teachers about how much class they will be missing. Teachers need to know how much of a priority it is that they need to leave class, and part of the reason that they need to leave class is due to NCAA ruling. NCAA tournament rules require that the majority of college students to skip class in favor of nationally televised games because of the fact that they bring in a lot of revenue. This leads to my next main point about how much money these athletes aren't getting for the work that they put in every day. The National College Athletic Association and the colleges make all of the profits. The NCAA had close to $1.1 billion in annual revenue during its 2017 year, and athletes haven't earned any of the money. On the other side of the coin, there are some regulations that NCAA does have. This has been the first time the association has surpassed $1 billion in revenue. From 2014 to 2017, the NCAA has totaled more than $108 million in outside legal fees. The money from big tournaments, televised games, ticket sales, jersey sales, promotions, and any other sources go to everyone but the athletes creating the value themselves. The NCAA makes billions of dollars and not a single penny is going to the athletes. After reading the article titled Why the NCAA Can't Allow to Pay Even If It Wants to, I found some reasoning as to why they may not be paying college athletes. First, it says that because of Title IX, they would have to pay all athletes the same, and they don't know if they'd be able to do that. They also talked about the different competition and the schools that don't make as much money. They question if the smaller schools would even be able to pay their athletes. Colleges do earn revenue from their athletes though, and I don't think it is fair. I came across a chart on ESPN that showed the money that moves college sports and how much the athletic departments in the colleges are making themselves. The amount of money comes from ticket sales, playing and away games, student fees, donations, media rights, and other sources. Everything adds up to a total revenue of over $50 million for most colleges. An article in the Washington Post explained that college sports departments are making more money than ever before thanks to television, endorsements, licensing deals, and big spending donors. Rich departments even use the money athletes make to build lavish facilities for their schools. Since there is definitely tons of money made through these college sports, I researched to find out different ways colleges could pay their athletes. I'm going to talk to you about how colleges could pay their athletes or allowing them to make profit. An article by CBS Sports showed that experts thought it was a good idea for college athletes to get involved in endorsement deals. Experts have argued that players should be able to earn money off their names and athletic ability. They say that the integrity of a student aspect of a student athlete should be maintained. CBS Sports says that they can earn money through their careers by endorsement deals that are part of an apparel contract. The athletes should be involved in legitimate endorsement deals from businesses. I came across an article that explained 10 different ways that college athletes can be paid and are still eligible for their sport. They can be paid cost of attendance through Pell Grants or pro money in a different sport. They can also get paid through bowl gifts and postseason awards. They can also have free injury insurance because NCAA has lessened some of the restrictions in the past. Athletes can also win prize money based on their performance by a sponsor. If athletes are really good, they can get paid for money for training for competitions. Colleges can create a student assistance fund. NCAA allows for student athletes to have outside jobs, even though not all of the players have time to do so. They can have that option. They can go about having self-employment like endorsements, as I had mentioned earlier. As you can see, there are many ways for college athletes to make the money that they righteously deserve. Today, I was able to talk to you about what a college athlete's schedule is like, how much profit athletes make for their schools and NCAA, and lastly, how they can go about paying athletes. Imagine how much stress would be lifted off of these athletes' shoulders and their parents if they didn't have to worry about financial stability. Colleges should realize that athletes deserve a full pay for a full day's work.